You're 7 when you first dive in. Not just a splash around kind of swim, but a real dive. Head under, goggles tight. The kind of dive that feels like falling into another world. The water wraps around you, soft and endless. It's quiet down there. No noise, no pressure, just movement and breath. You kick without knowing why, reach forward without thinking. Somehow your body already understands what to do. You come up for air and you're already smiling. You don't know it yet, but you'll keep chasing that feeling for years. Your coach says you glide better than kids twice your age. Your parents don't know what to make of it at first. They just know you love the pool and they love watching you love it. Your goggles are always crooked, your swimsuit never dries, and the kitchen towels always smell faintly of chlorine. By 9, you're entering meets. Local stuff at first. Schools, clubs, weekend races. You win a heat and they hand you a ribbon. You hold onto it like it's gold. It goes on the fridge next to spelling tests and birthday party invites. But this one feels different. This one feels like proof. Proof that you belong in the water. Soon you're waking up before the sun. The world is still dark outside your window, but you don't complain. Your parents carry you to the car half asleep. You eat cereal out of a cup and wear your swimsuit under your hoodie. You get in the pool when most kids are still dreaming. You don't notice how strange it is. You think this is normal. Early mornings, wet hair in class, falling asleep during math. You learn to count sets in your head. You race the second hand on the clock between intervals. You start to chase times, not toys. You hear adults whisper the word potential and you don't really know what it means, only that it seems important. You don't care about being fast. Not yet. You just love the water. You love that it's always there. You love that when you swim, nothing else matters. By middle school, you're racing kids older than you. Sometimes by 2 or 3 years. It doesn't scare you. You like it. You like that they're watching you now, that your name's announced before your heat, that your coach expects you to win. You're on every relay. You swim, fly, back, free, whatever they need. You're proud of that. You want to be the one they count on. You start checking your times more closely. Tenths of a second matter now. You scroll through rankings after practice. You learn your splits by heart. You race teammates in warm-ups. You push off the wall like it's the Olympics, even if the pool is half empty. You go home sore and satisfied, but slowly things shift. One meet, you don't drop time, then another, then another. You get out of the water and stare at the board. The number doesn't change, it just stays the same. Too high, too slow. Your coach says, you're just in a plateau. It will pass. You nod, but inside, you're not so sure. You start looking around during practice. Other swimmers are catching up. The gap you once had is closing. The kids you used to beat are beating you now. They've grown. You haven't. They've figured something out. You haven't. Your stroke feels off, like you're fighting the water instead of flowing through it. Your turns lose their snap. Your arms don't recover like they used to. You finish practice more frustrated than tired. You begin to think about quitting. Just flashes of it. Quiet thoughts you push away. You don't talk about it. Not with your parents. Not with your teammates. You pretend you're fine. You laugh at jokes, smile through cool down, and pack your bag like always. But deep down, the doubts are louder now. You start to wonder if this is it, if you've peaked already, if maybe you're not as good as they said. You keep swimming because that's what you've always done. You don't know who you'd be if you stopped. But that little voice keeps whispering, what if you're not special anymore? High school brings higher stakes, bigger meets, faster swimmers, college scouts watching from behind clipboards. You feel the weight of every race before you even dive in. Expectations follow you like shadows. Your coach calls you the anchor, the leader. Your parents start asking about scholarships. You nod. You're not sure if you want that or if you're just supposed to. You make state as a freshman. You place in the top 3. People call it impressive. You call it not enough. You want more? You always want more. That's how it works now. Every goal met just opens the door to the next one. You train harder, extra laps after practice, weight sessions on weekends. You stretch, you ice, you rest, but your shoulder starts talking back. First a whisper, then a dull throb. Then one morning, you can't lift your arm above your head. You can't pull through the water without it catching, like there's sand in the joint. You hide it, tape it, ignore it. You've seen what happens when swimmers miss time. They fall behind. They get replaced. You tell yourself it'll pass. You finish a 200 IM and know something's wrong. The pain isn't sharp anymore. It's deep, familiar, permanent feeling. You barely sleep that night. The MRI confirms it, a torn labrum. You sit in the parking lot afterwards staring at the result, hoping someone else will make the decision for you. Surgery, then rehab, a long road back. At first you stay involved. You show up to meets. You cheer your teammates on, but it gets harder. They keep swimming. They keep getting better. And you sit in the bleachers clapping with a smile you don't mean. You feel invisible. Like someone hit pause on your story, but the world kept playing. You try to stay hopeful. You listen to your physical therapist. You do the stretches. You count reps like you used to count strokes. You don't feel the same. You start to wonder if you ever really loved it, or if you just loved being good at it. And now you're not. Recovery isn't dramatic. It's slow. It's boring. It's lonely. No cameras, no applause. Just a quiet room, a resistance band, and a list of exercises you do until your shoulder aches in that familiar, exhausted way. You measure progress in degrees, how far your arm lifts before it locks, how long you can go without pain. You used to measure time in hundredths of a second, now it's in months. Your teammates are setting personal bests while you're learning how to float again without wincing. You nod when people say, "You'll come back stronger," but you stop believing it. Not out of hopelessness, just honesty. You're not trying to be stronger anymore. You're just trying to swim without hurting. Eventually, you're cleared to return. It's not like in the movies. There's no triumphant music. You just walk back into practice one day with your gear bag and a new warm-up set taped to the whiteboard. No one really stops to notice. You're just back. But you're different. You're cautious now. Every pull comes with hesitation. Every turn feels like a test. You listen to your body in a way you never used to. You warm up longer. You stretch more. You don't chase the pace clock like you once did. You swim smart, not hard. And it frustrates you more than you want to admit. You start competing again. Not for records, not even to win, just to prove you still can. You make finals at a mid-level meet. You don't set a personal best, but you finish the race. You shake hands, you climb out of the pool without limping. You find yourself smiling, not out of pride, but relief. Later, you sit at the edge of the warm-down pool, arms over your knees, and realize you're not chasing anything anymore. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're just swimming. For a moment, that's enough, and then it's over. Not with a ceremony, not with a retirement post, just with silence. No more recruiters, no more plans. No one waiting to tell you what's next. You just stop. And no one tells you how hard that part is. You don't swim for months after it ends. Not because you're angry, not because you're hurt, just because it's strange now. Strange to be in the water with no clock, no goal, no coach shouting intervals from the side of the pool. You think about going back, but you don't. You don't know what lane you belong in anymore. You get a job. You try to talk to people who've never swum a lap in their life. They ask about your career and you don't know how to explain it. You say things like, "Yeah, I swam in college," or "I was pretty serious for a while." You leave out the part where it nearly broke you. You leave out the part where you still wake up before dawn without meaning to. Eventually, you find your way back to the pool. Not to race, but to coach. To teach 8-year-olds how to streamline. You show them how to catch the water, how to breathe without lifting their heads, how to finish strong. You say things like, "Nice job," and "keep going." You sound like your old coaches, but softer, kinder. You see flashes of yourself in them, the quiet ones, the ones who hate to lose, the ones who don't even realize yet how much they love this. You want to protect them. You want to prepare them, but you can't. Not really. So you just teach. You teach them how to swim, how to love the water, how to chase joy, not just time. You don't tell them how much you gave up. The birthdays you missed, the friends you lost, the mornings you sat in a cold locker room wondering if it was all worth it. You don't tell them how lonely it got. You just smile. And when one of them drops time for the first time and comes running up to show you, you feel it again. That old spark, that rush. You still dream sometimes. You're back on the blocks. The starter says, "Take your mark." And for a moment, it's all there again. You wake up reaching for your goggles, not to race, not to prove anything, just to remember who you were. And you would do it again, every stroke, every sacrifice, every second. Because in those fleeting years when you gave the water everything, it gave you something back. A truth about who you are when no one's watching, when it's just you and the silence and the lane ahead, and that will always be yours. If this story moved you, leave a like, share it with someone who knows the grind, and hit subscribe for more stories like this. Drop a comment if you've lived this life or if you're still swimming through it. We want to hear your story. Let the water carry you. We'll be here telling the stories no one else sees.